Yeah. Hello everyone. Chris, especially Chris, you're welcome. And then Brian, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah. And everybody, we already know each other. So it's my honor to have you guest over here in my newspaper company. As you see that we've been in Duluth for 7 years now, since 2006. And at the first time, I had a hard time to get those permission from you guys.
We weren't too pleased.
Yeah, but eventually we got those signs set up and machines set up. So I'm pretty happy with with our operation. Also appreciate for your cooperation. And I've been doing this business, the newspaper business, since 1989. Yeah, we started those tabloid in Doraville area. Then we moved to 2006 at this location, and we are doing those newspaper. That's your souvenir. If you want, then you can give one of those newspaper. And hopefully, we are media. I mean, we are representing the Korean community. And if you guys really need to reach the Korean community,
yes,
we are here. Just tell me or tell us, right? And
lots of barrels of ink.
Yeah, it's, I talked to Brian. It's sometimes I miss those ink, even a noise.
Yes.
So welcome everybody, and enjoy your food. There's lots of food over here. And anytime you want to contact me, you can. I already gave you the name card. So if you need something from the Korean community or any kind of information, just let me know. I'll be here in Duluth.
I'd like to introduce some of our members. Chris McGay and 이정현 판사님. 두 분께서는 both of them are in part of public safety and 뭐였죠?
Economic development.
Yeah, you are the economic development. Jenny Wesselman 역시 economic development에 계시고요. 저는 education department를 맡고 있어요. 네, 그리고 Brian, let me introduce to everyone. Brian just joined the City of Duluth as an event coordinator, and he has a great idea for us, especially for Korean community, in either September or August. We are planning to do a kimchi festival. Well, we can upgrade it to Asian food festival, but they're going to focus on kimchi. It'll be the main topic for that event. So we want Joseon Daily to participate as a main sponsor. If you say yes.
Hashtag.
Yeah, I can. Not only me. I can introduce lots of people who is very influential. So yeah, just let me know.
I'd love to meet them.
Okay.
But one of the things I want to say about Korean Task Force, there's a misconception, maybe a perhaps misunderstanding, that Korean Task Force is not some other organization like Haninhae or Sangonghae. That's not the purpose of Korean Task Force. Korean Task Force is there for the support of Korean community who live in Duluth, the city of Duluth, and who wants to have communication with the people, the employees or personnel or organization with City of Duluth. And so when Koreans who are out there saying that what does a Korean task force do? Or are they doing nothing? Well, we're not there for the purpose of trying to solicit business. We're there to bridge the gap between Korean Americans who live in Duluth and the City of Duluth. We want the business, we want the people to come live in the City of Duluth. But we're not out there to saying, well, we're soliciting business, or we're out there saying that, well, we want to solve your problems. That's not the purpose of Korean Task Force. So it's important that the people who live in Georgia or Southeast United States truly understand the purpose of Korean Task Force. We're there to bridge the gap, to make an understanding that we want the people who live in the City of Duluth to feel comfortable, that this is their home, and for their business to do well. And if they have any questions or problems, we want them to come to us and help them to be able to communicate with City of Duluth. So that's our purpose and goal.
And that's why our name is a task force, not
Right.
the organization. So
Right.
I know a lot of people ask the same question, but he made it correct. We are the task force. We will attack if there's any problem, any task, we need to take it. And we've done a couple of tasks, and we are waiting if there's anything that you guys need to help. So yeah,
Well, actually,
yeah.
it's more. It's not more about bridging the gap. It's trying to eliminate the gap. It's to
In both
become a
sides, right.
single community while respecting your differences and the things that make your culture great. But it's actually so that we can all be one family.
Yeah, but in order to do that, you have to understand each other.
Culture,
And so,
yeah, sure.
yeah, so
Yeah.
the City of Duluth want to understand who they are, basically, and understanding about Korean culture, language, food, whatnot. That's why we are there to help the not only the city, but the people who live in the city to understand about Korean Americans. At the same time, I want the Korean Americans to come to City of Duluth and be able to understand how it functions and operates. And so one of the things that we did last year was give the students, young students, education about the City of Duluth, how it functions, different departments. And we want them to know about that. And so, Clayton said that I'm basically head of the Committee for the Public Safety because I sit as a judge in City of Duluth. So if there's any problems regarding their public safety, then they can contact me or contact Clay about the education that they sponsored recently. And Jenny and, of course, Chris there in the economic development of the city itself. So
Originally it was initiated by Duluth City Mayor, wasn't it?
That's correct,
Yeah,
yes.
about 2.5 years
Yes.
ago, right.
She
Yeah.
asked the Korean personnel for help.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, one of the examples, on top of that, what we did is like signs. Like when you go to H Mart, there's most of signs are Korean. So the city people or the police station or the 911, they cannot read it. So that's why, Clayton and I and a couple of police officers went over and talked to the business owners and let them know the importance of they have signs, if possible in English, if it's not with the numbers, so everybody can read it. So those are the kind of a task. It's not the kind of organization we are doing it, with the big propaganda. We don't do that. We are working behind the scene, under the water, to try to help. And the other one, what the Clayton get involved heavily, is that with the alcohol ordinance. There's a lot of a karaoke or drinking place. They didn't understand the alcohol law here in Georgia. So they get a lot of a ticket or the loser license whatsoever. So so that's the another task we did. We tried to educate them. Hey, this is the law. I mean, like a soju bottle, the Koreans have to drink it soju as a bottle at the table. But that's against the law here in Georgia. So we have to educate them. So those are one of the tasks we do. So our purpose is very different from Korean American Chamber of Commerce or whatsoever. I just want you to understand that's where we are, and that's one of the tasks. And I'm sure there will be more tasks that we need to attack, that which we are not aware, maybe not. So, we are willing to help, and we are here.
I mean, I'm not a member of this task force team, but I do appreciate your effort. And because when Ms. Nancy well, because she's the city mayor and maybe half of her citizens are Korean, and she had no clue what to do with them. So when she was having a hard time and when she asked for help, you guys stood up for us. I appreciate that volunteership. You know, I believe America is based on volunteers' heart.
That is true. Yeah, that's true.
By the way, Grace Cruz is representing Gwinnett Medical Center and Duluth campus. She is an interpreter, and you just got promoted to
Patient and community liaison.
Yes, yes. And I also would like to introduce Victor Lee, who is the president of Dream Studio, located over right across
the street.
And Young Tae, he's a lawyer.
He just married.
He just got married. Oh, congratulations. And we have the gentleman here from JK News.
He's behind the camera.
Yeah, he's waving his hand, Chun-Shi Kim. And we have
Anna Kim.
Anna
And Jae-hong.
as a reporter. And gentleman,
Jae-hong.
SK Home.
SK Hong.
SK,
Yes.
he's also a reporter. Thank you very much for you coming. And anything that you'd like to share a little bit about the festival that you're planning to?
Well, if I could just talk about events in the broad, if you live in Duluth, then this is your city, and a city event is one of your events. So we want everybody to come out to them. We want to make them as accessible as possible to as many people as possible, and we want people to come out and have a good time and enjoy themselves.
What about the interested
Staff.
Let me introduce them. Charles, you already saw him. He's head presser in press room. Mr. Kwok, he's making a plate. And he's also very important computer technician, so MacGyver. And Mr. Yu, press team, and Richard is second pressman. Yeah. That's ours. Where's everybody?
They're all hiding.
Ran away.
They ran away.
Ran away. Okay. Yeah, we have plenty of food, and let's eat and talk and enjoy this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have various vendors
This
come
is
out,
something that
$1,
we
$6, just a sample, not charge a vendor fee. Have them come out and just show off the cuisine and get in touch with Funny Pig, Sweet Rice over here, Gwinnett Place Mall, just a bunch of the local businesses. I'd like to get a bigger kind of chain to anchor it, like Megamart or Ishmael. Hopefully get some good sponsors.
That was a great idea. I mean, I really want to support you. I want to know, how did you get an idea of doing a kimchi festival? That was curious.
Well, I taught ESL to 3 students here in Duluth.
Oh, really?
And I had various, I always had my students would bring the kimchi for me, and it was always different. I always had diverse and everything, and much better than what I can buy in the store. And so I started thinking, I'd like to have a contest and have locals come out and make their own and bring their own. Kind of build something like that, but maybe vary about a couple of cultural cuisines. And also the entertainment. So I have entertainment that would be contemporary as well as traditional, because I think there is more to, an Asian festival than, traditional clothes and traditional. There's a very big modern, for both dance and music. There's a lot of performers for that. So I had an Indian dance team that I saw over at the festival center just recently, and I said, "Hey, do you guys want to come to a festival?"
So when are you planning to anticipate that event?
Well, originally I wanted to do it late August, maybe early September, but I've been having a hard time reaching out into just into the Korean community for the most part. So I've had a lot of smaller businesses that were on board very immediately, but it's kind of hard. We've had a few language issues. I want to make sure that the Korean community is very involved. I'd like to do a public-private partnership.
This might be a be able to support you 100%.
And the lunch menu is a little limited.
Sponsor or something.
Night menu is All that's the smells and the sounds and the taste the paper being made. It's really fascinating.
Anyway, this is the very first time, so just for you to just make a tour here, right?
Yes. This particular paper. So what's really amazing is that this is able to make it when everyone's going to blog or internet. I prefer to have a paper in my hand, something that you can hold to read. So it's great to see that that's still alive and can make a profit and can be functional for the community.
Yeah, we actually have just been writing so many just articles on the City of Duluth. Did you know that?
Yes.
And I already just interviewed with you before, right?
Right.
Right.
So yeah, it's fascinating for this to be here. It's an honor and privilege to see it actually. And I'll make sure that the mayor is aware.
Okay.
And she apologizes for that.
Thank you so much.
Along the City of Duluth.